What's good, everyone? It's your boy Nazi with another video for the channel. Welcome back to DMV Sports Zone. And I got a friend of the channel, a longtime friend, man. I think you were one of our first guests, Manny. Appreciate you, bro, for coming on. And for all those out there who might not know who you are, might just be a few of you, not too many, but can you introduce yourself to the channel?
Yes, sir, man. My name is Manny. I am the host of the Back Row Commander Show, also the host of Talking Sports with Manny podcast and YouTube channel. So, Nazi, thank you so much for bringing me on the show.
No problem, bro. No problem. The first thing I want to get to, even though this is Commanders Weekly and we'll focus much of our attention on this one football team in DC, I want to get your thoughts on Juan Soto. And obviously, just won the home run derby last night. I was hyped. You probably saw the Twitter feed, DMV Sports Zone. I mean, I was tweeting all night. I watched it. I mean, he edged out Julio Rodriguez, who's another future star in MLB. And yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on Juan Soto just like being in the spotlight last night and doing some good things for the Nats, even amidst this terrible season for us, and whether he's going to actually stay here long term?
Funny thing was, I didn't watch the home run derby. I heard that it was on. Didn't even know that Juan Soto won. All I saw was a tweet from JP Finley talking about, watching Juan Soto is kind of like, seeing your ex and this and that. So I didn't even really get to focus in or even watch the home run derby. But from my understanding with Juan Soto it was a 15-year, $440 million contract. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
I heard that they offered him this contract and he declined.
Yes.
Now,
yeah.
Now, I'm hearing that this $440 million contract would have been the largest MLB contract ever. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. So that's about 29 point something million dollars a year. Now, because it's a 15-year contract. Now, my whole thing is, even with the NBA, any sport, if they're offering you the bag, you take the bag. You play it out a year or two and request a trade. That's the perfect scenario. You gotta take the bag when it's offered, because I don't think any other team offers him $440 million. It might offer him $350 or $400 or whatever the case may be. I don't think no other team offers him this. And then in baseball, like in any sport, there is no team that you can go to that you can say it's a guaranteed championship. Even if you go to the Dodgers, the Yankees, it still is not a guaranteed championship, So my whole thing is, in baseball, you make a lot of money. Somebody just offered to make you the highest paid player in history, and you say no. So my understanding, even though I don't watch a lot of Nats, my understanding is that the guy don't want to be in DC. Now, my question to you is, why does he not want to be in DC? Is the team just that bad? I have not kept up.
Yeah, I feel like in terms of, let's look at it, things from Juan Soto's perspective, right? I think it has a lot of similarities with Bradley Beal's situation, right? Bradley Beal oftentimes talked about how he wants to see, if the team is moving in the right direction, if we're actually building a contending roster for him to play with, so then we can actually compete for championships sooner rather than later, right? And also, similar to the Bradley Beal situation with Juan Soto, yes, the 15-year, $440 million contract was on the table, and for any average person, any any person, right? That's a lot of money. I get it. But for baseball standards, for a future all-time great standards, $440 million, well, yes, that would have technically beaten out Mike Trout's contract. It was only less than $30 million per year. I think it was like $29-30 million per year.
So that's the...
And Scott Boras is Juan Soto's agent. Scott Boras, I mean, he's done a number on the Nationals over the years in terms of getting his guys big contracts. Bryce Harper, of course. I think Anthony Rendon was also represented by Boras, if I'm not mistaken. Steven Strasburg, I think, as well. So he gets his players money, right? Even with how much Juan Soto actually wants to be here based off of his comments and his thoughts, right? Although Boras in recent days has tried to maybe not allow Juan Soto to really speak his mind on how much the Nats mean to him, and because of the contract situation undergoing just like Terry McLaurin's situation with the Commanders. I think a lot of it has to do with the average annual value on the contract.
Gotcha.
And also just Juan Soto seeing whether or not the Nationals are actually building, a contending roster once again around him.
Right. It makes a lot of sense because when I was talking to somebody about the contract, they said 15
Yeah.
years is a lot of years. And I'm like, it is
Yeah.
a lot of years. Usually, I think the most that I've ever seen was 10. Never seen 15. So, yeah, you put the 15 in there, all those dummy years just to get the numbers to go up, just to,
Yeah.
get to that
Exactly.
440. So it makes sense because when I did the math, and I said 29 point, I'm like, but aren't your players getting over $30 million a year?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for Juan Soto, he's young enough to possibly go for a 5-year deal, another 5-year deal, another 5-year deal, and another 5-year deal. I mean, he
Yeah.
probably, if he goes for short-term deals or shorter-term deals, he'll make more over his career than just locking in for 440, 15 or 15
Yeah.
years. So I definitely feel where he's coming from. I won't be surprised if I see him take a $200 million, maybe around $35-40 million a year type thing. But then somebody did make a good point today. They said the Nats and Juan Soto are stuck. If the Nats pay Juan Soto what he wants to get paid, they will not have the money to fill out the rest of the roster. He says the rest of the roster will not be MLB caliber players.
See, the thing is, my counter to that, I heard that earlier today as well. Our boy Corey actually messaged me and talked about how, well, paying Mike Trout all that money, one of the greatest players in baseball history, all that money for the Angels hasn't worked out for them and stuff. And my philosophy or my mentality about this is that we have Mike Rizzo. Do people forget in 2018, 2019 especially, right? This man's literally took guys, veteran guys, old guys that teams did not want anymore, right? Like,
Right.
if we're going to be honest, like the MLB scrap heap, right? He took guys off of that, integrated them into the Nats roster, and that's ultimately, what helped lead them to a championship in 2019.
Right.
And I think Mike Rizzo is one of the greatest GMs in baseball right now, and I think he will get it done. I think he will find a way, and I think he is definitely the X factor in this situation. And Juan Soto, I feel like, this is definitely going to be a story over the next couple of weeks, but I don't see him getting traded at the trade deadline. I think he's going to continue being on this team for the remainder of the season. But the real question is, what about, past the season and the years that come, right? Like, and honestly, if I'm the Nationals, bro, this is the DC market. Baseball is still relatively new in DC. You need stars. Right. After how many players we just got rid of? Bryce Harper, Trey Turner. Yep. I have a Dodgers friend. She's loving Trey Turner in DC. Loved Max Scherzer in DC for half a season. Like, and obviously Dodgers fans, right? They're already showing on Twitter and stuff pictures of Juan Soto and Dodgers jerseys, right? Yankees fans as well. Right. Like, we need to have a marquee player for our baseball team.
Right. You got to pay.
Again, given the context.
If other teams like the Dodgers can pay and operate without a cap, I don't even understand the cap in baseball. It's like they're just throwing money at these players. The Yankees, I'm a Yankees fan. I'm also a Nats fan, but I've seen Yankees go and get whoever they want. Okay, now, granted, it has not worked out in years, but they do bring in star players. They let some go, and then they replace. Garrett Cole and the rest of these guys. So, I mean, that's just what the Yankees do. So how is it that they're able to pay all these guys, but then a team like the Nats are letting go of their guys? It just doesn't make any sense. Something's not adding up. Like you said, you need star power.
Yeah.
People come to see Juan Soto play. He was a guy that we drafted and cultivated, and he made him who he is today. That's why he loves the city, like you say. But at the end of the day, you're loyal to the paycheck. Just like any other job.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Corey. Juan Soto has the potential, I should say, of being one of the greatest players of all time in baseball. And the last 2 points I want to make about this is, well, 3 actually. The first point, I looked this up, I think yesterday. Juan Soto, what he would have averaged over that 15-year, $440 million contract would have ranked him 20th all time in average annual value. And obviously Juan Soto right now is not the 20th best player of all time. But given the market and given how baseball contracts have been inflated, all sports contracts have been inflated, especially over baseball's 140-year history. Right. I think that's, that just shows you that he's not really getting paid what he's worth on the market. I think the Yankees and Dodgers, in my opinion, would pay more than that. Second thing, this is definitely, I know it's baseball, right? And football runs this town. but definitely a bigger issue than Terry McLaurin's situation, contract situation.
Oh yeah.
And we know how much fans wanted Terry McLaurin
Right.
back in DC.
Right.
And, you know, I at OTAs, Terry wasn't there, right? I wore my Terry jersey, you know, repping the guy that wasn't there. And Ron Rivera, you know, I mean, he saw it. He saw a lot of Terry jerseys out there.
Yep.
And we know how much fans wanted Terry back. Juan Soto, bro, guys, is like different. Like he's different. He's already one of the greatest baseball players right now. And again, he has the potential of being one all time. Last point. Juan Soto, unlike Bradley Beal, who I think is a fringe star, Juan Soto is a bona fide superstar. And you just got to pay him the money. You got to pay him the money. Exactly.
How I would rank these stars in DC. Juan Soto is number one. Okay.
Right now,
talking hockey, if we're talking hockey, and if Ovechkin wasn't so old, I'll say Ovechkin over Soto.
Yeah.
Just because Ovechkin is like he's legendary, but we're not even gonna.
I think he's the DC sports GOAT. Do you think I'm wrong about that?
He truly is. But as of right now, without adding the hockey, it's Juan Soto, and then it's Terry, and then it's Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is a number two. He's a number two. He is what he is. He's just a guy who played his cards right. Loyalty thing. That's how I was able to get that 35% of that cap. Terry means so much to Washington than Bradley Beal means to the Wizards. It just is what it is. Some are going to disagree, but that's just the cold hard facts. That's just how I see it.
Yeah. And my bad. This is the true last point. Like, are we forgetting how clutch Juan Soto was in 2019 at the age of 20 years old, and he's still only 23? Are we forgetting that in this, analysis of his contract situation in DC, bro? It's a no-brainer, man. Freaking learners, pay up, bro. Like, please. Like, what are we doing, man? Yeah. But I also want to get your thoughts on another sorry team in DC, and that is the Washington Wizards. So I want to first get your thoughts on their summer league performance and thoughts on Johnny Davis, the 10th overall pick, who I wasn't high on, but go ahead.
So summer league, to be honest, I didn't keep up much. I was bored. Summer league was so boring that I didn't even keep up. I kept up with Lakers more than I did with the Wizards. Lakers, for obvious reasons, they were always on TV. The Wizards, they got on TV because you live locally, so they got on TV. But when they did, I tried to watch it. It was boring. I'm like, who am I watching? Is it Johnny Davis? Is it Todd? What's his name? Todd.
Isaiah Todd.
I'm like, who am I really watching? Who am I going to invest my time to watch to say, hey, you're going to make the team? I didn't see, just from the little times that I did watch, I didn't see anybody flash. When I looked at the box score, I saw Isaiah Todd, knock down some threes. I'm like, oh, he got three potential. Oh, he can shoot threes. But that roster, Johnny Davis, when I read about him, I was excited. When I looked at the highlights, I was excited. Summer League, the little bit that I've seen, it's kind of been like, hey, whatever. And then even with the moves that Washington has made thus far, it's like, where does he fit in? Is he a point guard? Is he a shooting guard? Is he supposed to be the Bradley Beal replacement? I mean, what is he? I am glad that we selected a guard in the first round. I was sick and tired of these forwards that never pan out. Denny, look, I am done taking up for Denny. Matter of fact, I'm done with Rui Hachimura. Like, I saw that Kawhi potential. It's gone.
My co-hosts on this channel, bro, are still hyping up Rui, bro. Stop it, man. Like,
it's done. Like, when he took that time for the personal whatever he did, which is none of my business, but at the same time, you're missing from the team. You come back out of shape. Now you've lost your job because Kyle Kuzma's a real deal. I try to tell Washington fans that Kyle Kuzma was a real deal. He's actually one of the few Laker jerseys that I do own is Kyle Kuzma, and I am going to get a DC Kyle Kuzma jersey. I'm a big fan. He might never be a star. He might never be an all-star, but he works hard. He works hard at his craft. Kyle Kuzma has taken Hachimura's job. Hachimura is supposed to be a power forward / small forward. I don't see anything small forward about him. He cannot even defend. He has the potential, like the size, hands, and this. They compare him to Kawhi all the time, but I don't even see that potential. The mid-range is there. The three ball is not there. I mean, it's just something missing. He's going into what, year 4?
I believe so. Yeah. It might be year 3.
Either way, I haven't seen anything. He's going to be a must-trade candidate. Get him out of town. I mean, the team is just very, very underwhelming. The moves they made were nice. I like Barton. I like Morris. I like even the backup point guard that they got, DeLon Wright. He's okay,
Mhm.
but it's like,
So all bench
how?
guys.
Yeah, all bench guys. And who's that guy from the Knicks? That ball headed guy, Taj Gibson. He's
Mhm.
coming in and taking Vernon Carey's
37.
job. It's like I don't even understand what they're doing. It was like with the mid-level exception, right? My expectation was to go ahead and grab a guy like Oladipo, offer him the full. They had the full mid-level exception. They had the 10 million, 10.4 million. Instead of giving that to a guy like Oladipo who can come in, help that bench, right? A guy who's proven a DMV guy,
Mhm.
you go ahead and you give most of that to DeLon, all right? And I'm like, why? DeLon Wright, he's a bench player. You maximize your mid-level exception when you have it. It's like almost a max contract in terms of free agency. Even if you're bringing a guy like TJ Warren, I would have been happy with that. There's nobody on the bench that gets me excited. Like, oh, that guy's going to come in and score or do this or do that. Unless you move Kyle Kuzma to the bench. Like the team, it's a weird looking team. It's a weird looking team. KP, can he stay healthy? Bradley Beal, can he mesh with KP? They haven't even really played together. You add in Kuzma, then it's like, who are the shooters that you're going to surround around these guys? You've let go of what's his name, KCP. So it's like, what you doing?
Yep. Yep.
What you doing? Okay, you bring in Will Barton, who's more of a scorer, not necessarily a shooter. Monte Morris, solid in all phases, but not necessarily a knockdown shooter. Okay, I guess Bradley Bill's a shooter. I guess Johnny Davis, has shooting potential. Denny, you were supposed to be improving. So it's like when you look at the roster in this totality, I just don't understand what they're doing. It is a deep roster. Deep roster has potential to be a very good roster, but at the same time, they're going to be, guess what, sixth to eighth seed. Sixth to eighth seed. You know, drafting in
Yep.
the middle of the first round every year, drafting all these Denny's and Ruiz and all these Troy Browns of the world. They don't amount to nothing. So it's a forever cycling thing. And to be honest,
And you, mhm.
I've moved away from watching Wizards, man. I'm almost out. I'm almost out, man. I'll just go back to supporting from the box score. Not wasting my time watching games.
Yeah, there's so much to touch on here from the comments to what you said. Um, yeah, I think first and foremost, the reason why I mean, it's even a hashtag so wizards. The reason why this is a cycle every single year, it's
Mm-hmm.
mediocrity or worse, is
Yep.
because the Wizards don't want to tank. The owner himself said he doesn't want to tank.
Exactly.
Giving Bradley Beal all that money shows you that they don't want to tank. And
Right.
because of that, we'll never get a guy like a Victor Wembanyama, who I don't know if you've heard
Man,
about him,
beast.
Manny, but he's the truth. He's the
Beast.
truth. We'll never get as high of a draft pick, to
Yep.
draft, maybe not a Victor who's might be a once in a generation type of talent, but like,
Sure.
a top 5, top 4, top 3 player.
I know what
And
you mean.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
last year, the team was so bad, right? You got to admit, the team was so bad that we were not drafting where the OKC Thunder were. I think we were on that level. They started out good, then they fizzled out, right? When you fizzle out, you were like in that play in, almost play in. Nah, I need you to be 13th, 14th, 15th seed. That's what I wanted you to end up at. So that way we can get into the lottery, get a lot of those ping pong balls, and try to get one of these top tier guys. Since Manny was all over the place during the Wizards season, I sure was. I sure was. I was excited, and then I was mad. Then I just stopped tweeting Wizards. I just stopped tweeting Wizards. Like they made me so mad that I didn't even want to watch anymore. You had some good things going at the beginning with Montrezl Harrell. That was working out. But at the end of the day, the team didn't have any defense. No defense. You have no wing defenders. You would think you're going to attack the wing defender position. Even with that mid-level exception, you would think you go, grab a defender. Even if you brought in a guy like PJ Tucker. I'm not saying PJ Tucker is the real deal or this and that, but he brings an intensity. He brings defense. All he wanted was $10 million. Offer him the 10.4. Bring him in. What that shows is, hey, we're serious about winning. We're serious about being a top 4 seed. Now, whether PJ Tucker takes them to that level or not, but at least it's worth a try. You need that
Yeah.
level of defending. And that's what's missing on this team. There's no accountability. The coaching is terrible. The GM is great. The GM makes some great
Is he?
moves out of nothing. This is
I
why I
mean, he's
say
above average. I don't know
this is
about
why I say
great.
he's great. He took Spencer Dinwiddie, okay, and flipped that to KP. Now, you can say whatever you want to say about KP. KP is an asset that's more tradable than Spencer Dinwiddie. Okay? And Bertans. When you get rid of Bertans and you bring in KP for Dinwiddie and Bertans, that is GOAT status. That's Rob Pelinka status.
He also gave Bradley Beal an insane contract with no trade clause. Only one of 10 players all time to get a no trade clause for freaking Bradley Beal.
But here's the thing: when Bradley Beal wants out, he's gone. The no trade clause protects Bradley Beal. It's one of them things where you get your bread, and when it's time to go, it's time to go. Bradley, if this team is going nowhere, Bradley Beal's going to request a trade, and guess what? He's going to okay wherever he decides to go. So it's not a bad thing. You could have lost Bradley Beal for nothing. I still think that Bradley Beal is going to be a tradable asset where if the team is bad, they're going to talk to him and say, hey, we want to put you in a winning situation. Where do you want to go? Miami, Lakers, here, there. And with that kind of contract, you got to match. You got to, when you trade, you got to match it, right? So it looks bad right now, but I guarantee you that Bradley Beal has not finished his 5 years in DC. I give him 2 years and he's out. And when he's out, when you see what's going to come back in the deal, you'll be glad that they paid him this money because the contracts have to match. You're going to get a lot of young talent, a lot of draft picks, and you're going to get some veteran salary fillers. At the end of the day, it's going to be a good deal. It's either that or you let him walk for nothing.
Yeah.
That's just what it all boils down to. But he's going to be traded. I just don't see how it's going to work. The team is going to be around.
That's why we should tank. We should have even given the contract. We should tank.
But you know what, though?
The Wizards, yep.
At the end of the day, I wanted to sign and trade. That's what I wanted. I wanted to sign and trade. I just felt like Bradley Beal's time in DC has ended. All that loyalty stuff is all bullcrap. He's just saying all of that to get the bread. He knew that he's done his time, and it's time to get paid. He just played his cards right. He's done 10 years? That loyalty thing, Supermax, you make it to that All NBA, whatever, and you go into this special criteria where you get 35% of the cap. And that's all that Bradley Beal was able to do. And he's going to capitalize. I'm not mad at
I'm not blaming him. You can't blame Bradley Beal for taking the contract.
Him.
I mean, that's life-changing, generational wealth.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, if we were going to move Bradley Beal, we should have moved him 2 years ago. But the compensation that you get back won't be as great as what you're going to get in a couple of years. I'm telling you, it's going to take 2 years. 2 years, Bradley Beal's gone. There is nobody that has gotten the Supermax contract and it's worked. It's only worked for the Warriors because the Warriors just have a blueprint that works. It didn't work for James Harden. He got moved. And look at the haul that they got back for James Harden. Okay? He was moved twice. All right? What's his name? Russell Westbrook. Mm-hmm. Russell Westbrook was moved, and he's possibly going to be moved again. So all these Supermax guys, it doesn't work. Because you get this big money and then you don't have the money to do what you need to do. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for the Warriors, it worked because they draft their players. They treat their players well. They take care of their guys. And they have a system that works with or without a guy. I'm not saying they're going to win without Steph Curry. But at the end of the day, history tells us that these Supermax don't work. Dame Lillard, what has he done? What has he done? So just go back and look at everybody that has received that Supermax. It works in certain cases, teams like the Bucks, and it potentially could work for Denver just because they draft well and they do have a system in place. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting. I just don't see any Supermax guy leading their team to the championship or doing this and winning that. It doesn't happen. Once you get that money, John Wall, how did that work out? He was moved, and then he was buyout. All these guys all go through buyouts, man. It's crazy. Get your bread while you can. It's not gonna last long. That's just the NBA that we're living in today.
Yeah, again, so many points that I want to respond to in terms of what you said. You made a lot of great points. Yeah. Oh, I mean, really quick point, like it has nothing to do with the Wizards and stuff, but you mentioned what has Dame done. I've been of the mindset that if you switched out Dame for Steph, they literally would have the same results in Golden State. But that's another story for another day.
No, yeah. I'll talk about that for a little second.
Okay.
It could work, but I don't know if Dame adapts to that system. You have to think about it.
I'm
Dame
talking
was
about from the
balling.
beginning. Like that, he grew up in the Warriors system. You swapped him
Gotcha.
out.
Gotcha.
That's
Gotcha.
wrong.
Okay, yeah. If you grew up in the Warriors system and adapted and actually did the work, it possibly worked. The thing that I like about Steph, that what makes him work in that system is that he can be unselfish without the ball. He's a great cutter without the ball in his hands. That's why you see a lot of Draymond Green. We might think, oh, this is so repetitive. Draymond Green just stands there, looks around, and picks up 16 assists. But it's the motion of their offense. They took what Greg Popovich do, and they do it even better. Not only do they move, they have shooters all over the court, right? So it works. Clay can move without the ball. Steph can move without the ball. Draymond is unselfish in dishing that. But when I see how Dame plays now, I don't know if he can play that style.
Because he didn't have that player development staff that they have up there in Golden State.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But that coach, one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Steve Kerr?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You saw the
I don't know about all time.
Top 70, what was it? Top 10 coaches?
I don't know. Look,
is it 10 or 15? Top 15 coaches of all time?
I don't even know, man. Look, Steve Kerr's a good coach, but
good?
But I think
that's cap, Corey. That's cap.
You can even say great, but I don't think he's a all-time. I have to see more. See, the Warriors are going to head into that second phase of a team, right? When the Wisemans of the world and the Moody's and the Kumingas start to grow, right? Then let me see your coaching. Let me see how good you are, Kerr. The 2 years when the team was bad, I didn't see much coaching. You know what I saw? He was looking around. He was looking around like, oh, man, I done lost Clay. He didn't develop anybody. Who developed? Jordan Poole, but he was in the G League, came back. I mean, he had a whole bunch of scrappers. Yes, the level of talent wasn't there. But then they have D'Angelo Russell, and that didn't work. So let's just pump the brakes.
Andrew Wiggins.
Later. He came in later, right? But I'm saying those 2 years when the team was just so bad, right?
Okay.
I just didn't see a lot of great coaching. There was a time he even gave Draymond Green the thing and just said, hey, coach. Yes, he does a lot of things that Phil Jackson does in terms of being calm and his coaching style. It's very similar because you're not going to see Phil Jackson yelling and doing this and doing that. He just teaches you and then he just lets you. Yeah, I don't see a lot of actual coaching. Even Kerr says he don't draw up his own play. He says he does not draw up his own play. He says he takes what everybody else is doing and then he runs it. Genius.
I mean, he made some great adjustments in the finals, right?
Look,
that swayed the series after the Warriors were down.
For me to put him in the Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich.
I'm not saying he's in that category, but he's still one of the greatest coaches of all time. I said one of them, right? That could be top 10, top 15.
Because whenever you say one of the greatest, I just think of Popovich and Phil Jackson.
That's the greatest, though.
Yeah. So what I want to see out of Kerr is, like I said, I want to see that second phase. We're going to see how great of a coach he is. Let's see that second phase when Curry starts to age and Clay. They start losing the step defensively, and Draymond just becomes just a walking guy who just runs suicides up and down. And then you have these younger guys. Let's see how those guys are incorporated into the system, because it was a well-oiled built machine with the teams that they've had with Iguodala, Livingston. I mean, these were just staple guys that just fit. You know what I'm saying? From David West to every Barbosa, every piece, every team they've had, it just fit.
Yeah.
Now I give them more credit this year than any other year. This year was a tough year because you had Andrew Wiggins, a guy who we were unsure of. He made Andrew Wiggins an all-star starter. You can't knock that. So I would say this was the best coaching job that I've ever seen out of Steve Kerr, because he just had a lot of pieces to integrate and make work. But I want to see more of it. The next 3 to 5 years, let's see how he incorporates this lottery pick, and James Wiseman is supposed to be the next Anthony Davis type player. Let's see.
Could be the next. I don't know about that.
At the end of the day, he's a top 3 player.
Oh, whoa! So you're saying another player to save Steph Curry? Another player to add?
Look, if Kerr can do it, then guess what? I would validate your argument about him being one of the greatest coaches of all time. Just because you win 4 titles don't make you one of the greatest coaches of all time. You won 4
and just because you win 4 titles doesn't make you a top 10 player of all time. And with that being said, let's get
exactly. Yep. And
I'm just saying
4 titles doesn't make you the GOAT either, LeBron. But yeah,
I know. I agree with you on that too. I agree with you on that. Okay. I'm sorry, Manny, but I've been chomping at the bits to respond to Corey's comment all the way back here and fight for old DC's blasphemy that he exuded through this comment. 20 home runs in a Derby championship in a down season for Juan Soto. 20 home runs at the halfway point. Got to take off. Okay, because I think Corey's directly responding to what I oftentimes say about when people view our players, and we'll get to the Carson Wentz discussion. And I always talk about how fans oftentimes have the burgundy and gold glasses. A lot of people say this, but burgundy and gold glasses, that's what they see our players through, and that's why we always overrate our players and get ash burned. He's talking about red, white. I'm assuming just red glasses, right, for the Nats because of Juan Soto. Oh my gosh, Corey. First off, I don't have to hype up and convince people of how good Juan Soto is because they already saw how good he was on the World Series run. And up until now, people outside of this fan base are already saying he has the potential of being one of the greatest players of all time in baseball. Like in the categories of Mickey Mantle and, like not Babe Ruth, but like, guys like that, right? So I don't have to hype up. I don't have to look at him through red glasses. Maybe in terms of the contact situation, in terms of wanting him back here, maybe I'm slightly doing that. But honestly, when you have a guy that could go down as one of the greatest players ever, I don't think it's necessarily looking at it through red glasses. I think that's just being objective and like saying, okay, you have a superstar player. Like this is like a Steph Curry type. Even with my my criticism of Steph Curry, I'll say that this is like a Steph Curry version of like an MLB player, right? You just don't get rid of him if you're an NBA franchise or MLB franchise. So that's just my take on things. But Manny, really quickly, I want to get your thoughts on really quickly before the Commanders discussion. Okay. Kevin Durant potentially to the Wizards.
Oh man, I saw that report. I think it was like Legion's Hoops or something, and I was like, I retweeted. I said, "Oh, here we go again." If Washington fans are about to go wild, the KD to DC tweets, hashtags are back. Even Corey says that he'll grab him a jersey if he comes to DC. And then I dug in deep to why he didn't come to DC in the first place. I was in this Wizards group on Facebook, and then they said he didn't want to give tickets to his homeboys. And then I told the guy,
bro, he's not built for this, bro. He's not built for this. Like, we got to be honest with ourselves. He's not.
Hey, here's the thing. For the fact that KD wanted to go to Phoenix or Miami, that tells you he wants to go back to a whole nother number one seed and be at the top. Just think about it, man.
Yeah.
He leaves Golden State. He leaves OKC, goes to number one seed, right? In Golden State. They win
73-9 seed.
Yeah.
All-time
record. 2 championships. They should have won 3. If he didn't get hurt, they easily run past Toronto. I'm sorry. Toronto wasn't all that.
They were all that, but like Warriors were even more. They just didn't add up. I'll give you that.
Yeah. If you get a healthy KD, even a healthy Clay, if you get a healthy KD and no Clay, they still win. If you get a healthy KD and Clay, I'm sorry, it's not close. It's not close. That Toronto team was special. They were special. You have Van Vliet playing.
Kawhi was.
Kawhi was doing the
Kawhi? My gosh.
They had a great team. But I think the Warriors were destined to win. They were destined to win until KD got hurt, and then it changes everything. Even if KD.
So they weren't destined to win then.
Huh?
I saw destiny. They weren't destined to win then.
No.
If an injury happened, that's luck, right? So doesn't that go against destiny?
Luck. No. I'm not saying injuries do happen as part of the game, okay? But what I'm saying is if KD didn't get hurt, I think they would. Like for his legacy, KD would play his heart out. As great as Kawhi was playing, KD would have played his heart out to say, "Look, I got 3 rings in 3 years. Like to have back-to-back rings. When you're that close and you can taste, you gotta go. I just think they would have somehow willed themselves to win. Like somehow, some way. When those injuries happened, it was kind of like, okay, it's over. Like Curry boxing one, he couldn't do anything. Boxing one, And I know you love that comment because you're not a Curry guy. But KD coming to DC, I even told somebody, if KD comes to DC, right? Let's just look at it. They'll have to trade everybody, not KP and Bradley Beal. Everybody.
That's not gonna happen though. They're gonna have to at least include KP.
Yeah,
but
the thing is, I don't even think the Nets will want KP. I think the Nets.
I know that's why this is not gonna happen.
Yeah. But look, if it was to happen somehow, they'll get all like the Ruiz, the Denny's, and it's going to take 5 first-round picks. So you're going to get all the young assets, right? Johnny Davis, all of them, package them all, right? Gone. Say, hey, here's a choice of 7 players. Pick your 7, right? They pick their 7, and you toss them 5 first-round picks and maybe four pick swaps, right? That's what it's going to take. Rudy Gobert messed up the market. So if that happens, you have a lineup of KD, Bradley, Beal, and KP. Now you're looking for some veterans that are going to be bought out and this and that.
Kuzma's
right?
going to be in that trade package?
Who?
Kuzma's going to be in that trade package?
Yeah, he's gone. As much as I love Kuzma, he's gone. He's gone. That's an asset the Nets are going to say, we want that guy. That guy's good. They're going to grab that guy. And they're going to grab all these other young guys who could be something in year 4.
Yeah.
Who might not be anything. So all the young assets, they're all gone because they're all potential or former first-round picks. That's kind of how it goes. When Anthony Davis came to the Lakers gave up everything. They'll say, hey, look, Pelicans said, look, we want all your young assets. The Lakers said, look, we want to keep one. They said, okay, you can keep one. Then we decided to keep Kuzma. Right? Which I wanted to keep Brandon Ingram.
But I was about to say, was it really, did the Lakers really have a decision between Ingram and Kuzma?
They did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Pelicans
did. The Pelicans probably wanted Kuzma too. All I'm saying is that they did us a favor. Let's keep Kuzma, and then we had that first-round pick.
I think it was Ball, though, right? It was either Ball or Kuzma, right?
No. The pieces they wanted was Brandon Ingram and Lonzo. They just had the highest upside. Kuzma was like a late first-round pick. Yeah, he can score, whatever. Everybody can score, right? But you had Lonzo, who can be a good point guard, baby. He was drafted number 2 overall. You have Ingram, who can number 2 overall his year. Then we had the 4th round. I mean, the 4th pick overall. We were in the lottery that year, 4th pick overall, and that was what the difference was between keeping Kuzma or that pick. We chose to keep Kuzma, and they got that pick. Either way it went, they wanted that pick. So we just had enough assets just to give him. We gave him Josh Hart as well. Josh Hart was a really good player that we drafted late in the 1st round, like Kuzma. So it's either they get Kuzma or Hart.
Yeah, be native.
And with all the lobbying we did, we got to keep Kuzma because he was fitting in and he was blossoming. All those assets go out for Anthony Davis. It worked because we won a championship. It can be a bubble championship like Corio.
Bro, I don't.
Look, everybody had access to it, right? Look, everybody had access.
Exactly.
Even the Wizards, they were invited and then they were sent home. They were invited to the bubble and they were sent home immediately. So everybody had access to this easy bubble gum machine ring. And the Lakers just happened to get it. With all those trades they made, it was worth it.
But it wasn't. But even then, Manny, it wasn't. I don't think people understand. Like, people, they were away from their families, right? And I get they're millionaires, all that. They were away from their families in isolation, right? Like, literally strictly focusing on basketball.
Yeah.
I don't care what people say. That's a legit championship in my eyes.
I thought it was tough, but my rebuttal is to when they say it was easy. I'm like, well, everybody had access to it. If it was so easy, everybody, it's the people's teams that didn't even get invited to the bubble are the ones that are doing all the talking. They're the ones.
And then, wouldn't home fans also benefit the Lakers? I mean, if we're going to be honest, because everybody brings up that counter. Oh, you didn't have any fans.
Man, if we had fans, 4-0 Lakers versus the Miami Heat. Easily. I'm sorry. If we had fans, if everybody had fans, the Heat don't make it to that championship.
Yeah.
The Bucks,
Miami fans don't show up. Yeah.
The fans would have willed the Bucks to that win. I mean, so many things would have gone differently for everybody. So it was a tough ring, in my opinion. It was a tough route. I mean, just imagine watching you're listening to fake crowds, and I didn't even know how to react to that championship. I was watching it, and it was just so awkward and just so different. Even when Danny Green airballed that potential game winner, I was like, I had no emotions. There was no fans yelling. It was just fake crowd. Even when he missed it, the crowd didn't even boo. It was just so weird. Who's away, who's home? It was just a weird time in sports. I was just happy and excited to have sports during that time. So yeah, it was a tough ring for me. But for those who say, hey, it was easy. What did your team do? How far did your team get? Like the Phoenix Suns, they want to talk all this trash. They came to the bubble, they went 5-0. Then what? You went 5-0. Now that did propel them to become the team that they are now. So yes, that stuff. You play well.
It matters.
It does matter. It does translate. So yeah, man. So back to KD. If he was to come, it will take a lot. I just had to paint a scenario with what Anthony Davis was able to receive. KD is even more valuable right now, more than Anthony Davis. He's healthier. He scores more. He impacts more. He's a number one. He's not taking a backseat to be a number two. Any way you look at it, KD's a special player.
Even at 34 or
Even
33,
34,
I think.
I don't care if he's 35. I don't care if he's 44. I don't care what age he is. Players like that don't come around. And even a older KD, you put him on a team, you're a championship contender. Whether you win it or not, I don't know. You're a championship contender. So I just don't see it in DC, man.
No, I don't either. I mean, trade-wise, I'm sorry, I just don't.
The assets on there.
If I'm the Nets, I'm not taking any offer that doesn't start with Bradley Beal. I'm sorry. Like, if I'm the Nets, it just doesn't make any sense. And the Wizards aren't trading a guy they just re-signed to a record, $251 million extension.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I would too. I would too. But
I would take KD and all the young pieces. Matter of fact, they have to give us draft picks back. Match that contract. Come on, Nets, match that. Hey, I want Seth Curry. I want Joe Harris. I want KD. Matter of fact, throw in Ben Simmons too. Well, for good measures. Why not? Let's send us something nice.
Yeah.
Why not? Bye. It's not even a question. If you ask me, who would I take between Bradley Beal and KD? Goodbye, Bradley.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Get out of town.
But for those who might be wearing their, I guess, blue, white, and red glasses with the Wizards, they probably would say, I don't know, Kevin Durant's 33, 34 years old in a month or 2 months. I mean, Bradley Beal's 29.
KD has taken, look, everybody says, oh, they got swept last year. It doesn't even matter. Like, KD will take the same Wizards team further than Bradley Beal can. So it's not even a question. It's not even up to debate. I would trade AD right now for KD. Come on, KD. Buy AD.
I would too.
Being real. And AD is a top 7, top 10 player when healthy, blah, blah. Give me KD. I know.
It's going to be 80 and more players. If you're going for KD, it's probably going to be 80 and some of your young guys, draft picks, 2 draft picks that you have left first round.
Take the 2 draft picks. Take AD. Matter of fact, take Russell. That's a parting. You know what? That is a parting gift. That's a toss in. Here's AD. Here's Russell. Here's 2 first-round picks. Give me KD. I would love to see KD and LeBron on the same team. I don't care. Too. You can just put shooters around those guys, and that's enough. That's enough. I mean, they'll take turns. Yeah, I mean, it's KD, man. Come on, what are people talking about here? This is KD.
I agree, bro. But we're 42 minutes in. We got to get to some Commanders talk. I've loved the discussion thus far. But first and foremost, so we'll hopefully get to, maybe about 3 topics here with Commanders, maybe a little bit more. But first thing, I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this when the news broke, obviously. But first off, thoughts on the Terry extension and what can we expect to see out of Terry this season?
Man, the Terry extension was beautiful, man. It's like even the cap hit this year and the cap hit next year is not much.
Solid,
as the years go on, it's backloaded. But at the end of the day, Terry's a phenomenal talent. I'm excited about Carson Wentz this year. I'm more excited about Carson Wentz than most. I think that Carson Wentz is going to bring a new element that we have not seen since Kirk Cousins. You're going to see more deep throws. You're going to see the offense moving. Whether we're scoring, whether we're winning, you're going to see movement. With the quarterbacks we've had the last 2-3 years, it's been a stagnant offense. The offense has been so bad. Even when Alex Smith was at his best, offense didn't move. It was check down. It's check down, good defense. You're going to see movement. You're going to see Terry unlocked. Remember that first game versus the Eagles, Terry's first career touchdown?
Should have had 2 touchdowns that game.
You're going to see more of that. He should have had 3. He should have had 3. If Case Keenum was a real quarterback, he would have had 3. And that would have really unlocked who Terry really, really, really was. So you're going to see some of that rookie season Terry, that fire. The guy plays with passion. He plays with excitement. He's happy to be in DC. We gave him a team-friendly deal, a deal that favors him, a deal that favors us. Everybody wins. Not only that, you give him a quarterback that he can get excited about. You give him a quarterback, Wentz is not the best quarterback in the league. We know that. But is he better than Taylor Heineke, Haskins, rest in peace, Keenum, Alex Smith with one leg, with two legs? Is he better than what we've had the last 3 years? The answer is Colt McCoys of the world. Yes. So he's excited for that because he knows even if it doesn't work with Carson Wentz, you only go up from there. Right? That means you're drafting somebody, you're trading for somebody, you're in the market. And then now, with the way that the team is built, they're built so nice that it's just a good quarterback away from really making some noise. If everything gels, if the defense plays well, if Scott Turner dials up some plays. So I love the deal. I love where the offense is going, and I'm excited about Wentz this year.
Yeah, that's why I'm still pissed at Russell Wilson for not coming home to Virginia to the DMD and and going to a team that had the same record as this last year. But you should have kept going though with those similarities between Wentz and Kirk. You should also mention another season without 10 wins, that kind of thing, because I have my take on Carson Wentz. I will save that.
But let me ask you this: when Kirk was here, I can't remember. I'm like one of those fans where once the season is over, I'm done.
Yeah.
The teams that Kirk had here in DC, how was the defense? Was the defense good? Did we have stars?
Was the defense good last year?
No, we had injuries. So let's see what the team looks like fully healthy.
What about without injuries? First half of the season, it was abysmal.
They were suspect.
Remember, that's 2 years in a row when our defense. I know our defense in 2020 obviously finished off very well.
Yeah.
Last year too, but like 2 straight years of starting off pretty slow, especially last year. Obviously,
it could be a Jack. It could be a Jack Del Rio thing. I have not been a big fan of Jack Del Rio. He's this, he's that. He does this, does that. You want to talk about the 4 first rounders, the first 4 rounders on the defensive line. I don't care about any of that. Produce. So I hold everybody to a high standard. You know what I'm saying? So whether it works or not, my whole thing with Carson Wentz is like we can talk about the Kirk Cousins, this, that. At the end of the day, it's upgraded quarterback play. That's my point. That's my point. It's upgraded quarterback play. Even if you take the Carson Wentz from last year with the Colts that everybody didn't like, they all say that he sucks and this and that. Give me those 27 touchdowns and those 7 interceptions. Just insert that on this DC team. I guarantee you'll have more than 7. You're looking at a 10-win season. We almost had 10 wins with a Heineke who had noodle arms. Me and Taylor Heineke probably throw the ball the same. We probably throw the ball the same. He could probably
see, but Manny, bro, I can flip that easily by saying we had 7 wins with all the COVID and injuries and everything, noodle arm that Taylor Heineke had, while Carson Wentz only had 9 wins with, in my opinion, a superior roster last year with the Colts. A team, again, a lot of people forget this. Maybe they're wearing their burgundy and gold glasses. A lot of people forget this. People going into the season for the Colts, they were saying this Colts team could go on a run. They could be one of those teams that's next up. They had literally just needed a quarterback, a solid quarterback, a difference maker at the quarterback position to carry them from an 11-5 season with a 39-year-old almost retired, about to retire, Phillip Rivers, got them 11 wins the season prior in 16 games.
You know why?
Versus a 9-win season.
I live in Nashville.
He was a negative.
I see a lot of Titans. I live here. I see a lot of Titans, and there is no way I saw what everybody was saying. As long as the Titans were in that division, I didn't see what you were saying. I don't care who the quarterback was. The Titans were the best team in football until the playoffs. The Titans. The Tennessee Titans are in the same division with the Indianapolis Colts.
Not without Derrick Henry. They stumbled a little bit. The Colts didn't take advantage.
But they still had the best record in football, even with no Derrick Henry.
Because the Colts didn't pounce, though. My thing is, like, the Colts didn't, like, take advantage.
Here's my point. Okay. Regardless of who the quarterback was, the Colts were not good enough to contend with the Titans. That's my argument, and I'm sticking with that. That's my argument, and I'm sticking with that. Everybody says, oh, the Colts offensive line. The offensive line was terrible. They had 1 or 2 names on that offensive line, right?
Third best rush blocking offensive line in the league. They didn't need to ask Carson. They didn't ask Carson Wentz to do much. When they asked him to do much, the last 2 games of the season, he stumbled. He fell apart. He wet the bed. But when they didn't ask him to do much, he did well. But
that sounds like a coaching thing to me. Why are you asking Carson Wentz to do much with this team, with this amazing team that you say is so amazing?
9 wins.
No, but you're saying this team is so amazing and they're so this and they're so that. The coaching staff has a lot to do with this. But who's calling the plays?
Frank
You have
Reich,
a guy,
the same guy that believed in him since his rookie. Well, I don't know
you
about
have
rookie,
a
but
guy,
from an
Jonathan
early age.
Taylor, right? Jonathan Taylor, right? One of the best rushing offenses. He played his heart out, right? He did what he could. But why is it that when it came to it, you put the ball in Carson Wentz's hands? But your bread and butter is to run the ball, right? So I mean,
No, but it was because Jonathan Taylor. Again, I'll flip this argument. Everybody says, "Oh, Jonathan Taylor also wasn't effective the last 2 weeks of the season." Oh, but he was also like the best running back in the league for most of the season. Carson Wentz didn't need to do much. The Colts were winning games, and then the 1 or 2 moments when Jonathan Taylor doesn't have a good game, Carson Wentz actually has to do some things. He doesn't. He falters. Like this has been the thing the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. So I give you that. I give you that argument. So Jonathan Taylor was the best running back until Derrick Henry got hurt. Let's go ahead and just get that. Let's just go ahead and correct that. First half of the season, Derrick Henry almost rushed for 1,000 yards in 8 games.
Yeah.
Let's just give Derrick Henry his props, okay? If Derrick Henry didn't get hurt, we will not be hyping up Jonathan Taylor as much as we are. Jonathan Taylor was the next best thing, which is
Jonathan Taylor would have still done well.
He would have done well, but look, if Derrick Henry kept at this pace, you're talking about a 2,000-yard season.
Yeah.
And you're talking about 25 rushing touchdowns. That's what Derrick Henry would have done. It would have overlooked what Jonathan Taylor was able to do, which is amazing. He had an amazing season. If you had him in fantasy, you won fantasy championships. That's not what I'm saying.
Bro, I don't want to cut you off, Manny, but bro, I'm telling you, my fantasy league mates, I'm not confident in a lot of things, but like this is something that's like I don't know, I gotta say something. My fantasy teammates, bro, literally like were confused when I drafted Jonathan Taylor at 5 overall in the first round of my fantasy draft. That's how much I believed in him. And Najee Taylor in the second round.
Yeah.
So
Najee Harris.
Oh, Najee Harris. I'm sorry, Jonathan Taylor, Najee Harris. Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you had that combo, you won. You won. You won. But look, with the Colts, whatever that happened, it was more of a team thing. Yes, Carson, he did mess up those last 2 games. Defense wasn't great. Offensive line wasn't great.
But defense still finished 10th in the league in scoring.
They finished 10th in the league in scoring, but what did he finish in those 2 games?
I mean, I think a top 10 scoring defense is good enough, though, to win more than 9 games if you're one amazing quarterback.
It's good enough to win, but it's like when it mattered, like what was the score in that Jacksonville game?
I can look it up. I'm pretty sure it wasn't like super high scoring, though. I'm pretty sure the defense didn't give away the game. I think it was Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
I can check.
It was Carson Wentz, but I think Jacksonville scored more than.
I mean, yeah, yes, sir. I mean, it was.
I mean, all I'm saying.
Hold on.
All I'm saying is.
Oh, this is going back to.
Carson.
My bad.
Carson Wentz was bad, but I also think that it was a team thing. It was a team thing between coaching, offensive line.
26-11. I mean, 26. Sure, 26 might be a tad high for a Jaguars team, but like 11 points on offense.
Wait.
Yeah.
26.
26 to 11. 11.
That's the look. The 20. Let's talk about
11.
What were they averaging?
Let's talk about the 11.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, that it was on both sides, but you're trying to just make it it was only Carson Wentz. Nah, it was a team thing. I knew it was something else. 26. Who was scoring?
That's a Carson Wentz thing.
But who was scoring though? 26 for Jacksonville.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence had a 220 and 2 touchdowns. That's not great.
That's not great. But it's like, well, what I'm saying is, Jacksonville hasn't scored 26 all year. They play your mighty Colts defense, and voila, 26. I don't care if it's a field goal kicker.
I'm pretty sure that was just 2 touchdowns and a bunch of field goals. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think it was 2 touchdowns and a bunch of field goals. I think that's good enough to.
Many field goals, too many. You know, it just is what it is. It is what it is. They were bad, yeah, but we were even horrific. Okay, I would still take that 27 touchdowns, 7 interception Wentz, and you add to this team, and you can't tell me that you add Wentz to this team and this team wins 5 games. There's no way.
No, this team wins 9 games. That's my prediction.
And that's still.
See. No. I gotta catch you here. Manny. See, I know a lot of fans out there would be like, "Oh, Nazi, that's an improvement." Like, are you at? No, we need to stop setting low expectations for this team. I'm not in terms of like how we foresee the season that's coming up. I'm talking about like what we need out of this team, right? We need to stop being complacent with like a 9-win season saying, oh, that's improvement. It is what it is. This is the third year of Ron Rivera's tenure. Like, I'm a huge Ron Rivera fan. Again, I got to meet him, personally, and like he's a super cool guy, and we all know how great of a human being he is, right?
Right.
But like, this is a third season. This was supposed to be the season that we make the jump from 7 to 9 wins after 2 straight 7-win seasons to a 9-win season. That's not enough of a jump for me to be excited about.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you why I would be excited.
Unless we make the playoffs.
I would be excited about 9 wins. 10. I've been a fan since '99. You know how many times I've seen 10 wins? Maybe 2 times. That's how trash. Yeah. Maybe once. Because wait.
You said 99, right? Yeah,
99 year, and then maybe the year that Todd Collins was quarterback. Maybe that might have been. I don't know.
In 2012 too. Remember?
Yeah. So maybe those are like the only 2 years. The franchise is terrible. Let's not talk about this franchise is such amazing. Yeah, I get excited about 9 wins. Yeah, I get excited about a potential 10 wins. Why won't I be? I have never seen it. So why? It's like I didn't watch back in the glory days. I didn't watch. I'm going off of what I've seen. So
no. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, go ahead.
Here's the thing. It's either we get it done or you fire the coach. It's either or. They keep saying that they're building something special, right? 7-7 is not a jump, right? 7 to 9 is a jump, but it's not a jump that the fans will be excited about because it's just 2 more wins. It feels like, oh, maybe we lucked up and got 2 lucky wins to get to that point. 10 wins is what we all crave for. Like that's a good season. Somebody also said that the new 9-7 is 10-7, so 10-7 should be more easily attainable. 11 wins is the new 10 wins with the 17-game season. So I can see that. I can see all of that. You get the extra game. But my whole thing is we haven't even had the success. We don't even have anything put together. We are terrible at drafting quarterbacks. Every single thing that's supposed to go wrong goes wrong in DC. That's who DC is. I'm sorry. I'm about to make some fans pissed off in the comments right now. It is what it is. So, of course, fans are going to get excited about 9 wins. Of course, you're going to get excited about a potential 10 wins. Because those are rare. They're like the Washington Wizards. Always 500. They're just they
excited about playing.
The year we tank, we get Chase Young, which I was excited about. Of course, we all wanted a Joe Burrow. We all wanted what Justin Herbert is now.
But we didn't. Back then. Yeah,
we didn't know. That's the bad luck of DC. It's the bad luck. And then Chase Young gets hurt, and then he wasn't playing good last year. So that's DC for you. When we do tank and when we do get that generational talent, rest in peace to Sean Taylor. I want to say this carefully. We had a great talent in Sean Taylor that was taken away from us. I don't know if it's some kind of curse around DC that just will not allow us to be great, whether it's finding a quarterback, whether it's finding that generational talent that wants to stick around, Chan Bailey. It's something always happens to where it just doesn't work out. So when you're talking about 9 wins, 10 wins, how many of those have you seen? We've seen a bunch of 9-7s, barely miss the playoffs or miss a playoff. I'm tired of all that. I'm with you. Of course I want the 10 wins. But if he's able to lead us to 9, it's not great, but it's not bad. But it's just one of those, it's just what DC is. It's just 7 to 9 wins. Yeah, we expected. Nobody wants to be 7. Nobody wants 7 wins. We're sick and tired of 8 and 8s. 9, okay. Like 9 is like where you're trying to run the tables to get to that 10 wins every single year. We always fall short, whether it's Kirk Cousins, doesn't matter who it is. That's just DC for you, man. I ain't seen nothing. And I just want to say, yes, Wentz has a lot of negatives on him. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with Carson Wentz this year. But I'm looking at the positives. I'm looking at the way that the offense can move. Even that year when we had Kirk Cousins and he almost had those 3,000-yard wide receivers, if Crowder would have been targeted, it would have been more.
And healthier.
I think we only won, 9 games? Or was it 7 games? Whatever.
Or no, I think it was 8. It might have been 8 or 7.
But guess what? That was one exciting season. We sure was moving them. Hey, that year when we played Green Bay and we threw up so many points, 45 points or whatever the case may be, at least fans are excited. Fans wanted to go to the games. It was where you played somebody, you had hope, you felt like we can go toe to toe with some of these high scoring teams. We were one of those potential high scoring teams. That's what I kind of see out of Carson Wentz with all the weapons that we have. Whether it works or not, I don't know. But I mean, I'm sorry. When you go from Taylor Heineke to Carson Wentz, I gotta get excited. I've wanted a quarterback that can stand in the pocket, big quarterback that can make the plays. We can't draft one. We got to go ahead and trade for one, or get one cheap, get a Jameis Winston type of guy just to come into. Like, we have to hijack people. We have to kidnap people just so they can come to DC. So it's not like, oh, we want all these expectations. Who wants to come here? It's a dumpster trash franchise that's ran to the ground. Poverty franchise. Can't draft. Can't bring in free agencies. Sometimes you don't pay your own guys, but then you expect an expectation that we might never meet. So it just is what it is. If Carson Wentz is terrible, cut him. He's gone after this year. Then guess what happens? Here's what happens. You're going to draft a guy. How long does it take for a young guy to develop? And that's the risk that
Rivera does not have that time.
We don't have that time. So that's why I was excited about the Carson Wentz. I didn't want no Desmond Ridder. What is Desmond Ridder going to come and do here? What is Malik Willis?
All those people, Manny, all those people on Twitter and stuff who were saying, "Oh, this quarterback class, oh my gosh, like we gotta draft somebody in the first round." I mean, I think you are in agreement when Kenny Pickett was pretty much the only first round type of quarterback in this draft, and it ended up happening.
But you saw that pro day out of Malik Willis. Oh man, we need to trade up. We got to trade up to go get Malik Willis. That boy gonna be good, and he still might be good. But the thing is, some quarterbacks just take time to develop. That's something that we didn't have. And we have to remember at that time, nobody wanted to come to DC. We had to overpay to get a Carson Wentz. Just think about that. We had to overpay to get a quarterback of Carson Wentz caliber to come to DC. So why am I excited?
That's right. Baker Mayfield, 5th round pick, 6th round pick. I mean, we gave up pretty much a 3rd and 2nd.
Right. And
we're gonna be honest.
This was in July. What if Ron Rivera waits till July to see if Baker Mayfield is available? Do you know what kind of riot there'll be around DC right now? Do you think that Terry would even resign? Let's just be real. So you have Taylor Heineke once again. Terry needs a deal. Matter of fact, Terry says, hometown discount, throw that out the window. I want AJ Brown money. I want Tyreek Hill money or trade me. Then what do you say? Because, we're stuck with Taylor Heineke, and we're hoping that a quarterback becomes available in July. We couldn't see that. What we saw was free agency. We went Russell. We went this guy. We went that guy. We even potentially almost traded a first-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. Would you have liked that? So when you look at the totality of what was available, I was excited that we ended up with Carson Wentz for what we paid. We recouped some of that 3rd-round pick back.
I get it, Manny. And I'm of the mindset, and I believe Dave is as well, that like, and you too, like we did the best, and maybe people disagree with this. We did the best we could given Russell Wilson not coming here.
That's right.
Terrible. I don't know. This man's. Anyways, Aaron Rodgers not coming here, obviously. Deshaun Watson.
It was debatable, and even now it's not looking good because to start the season it's going to be Taylor Heineke.
No, but honestly, I always expected a suspension. I expected it when I literally was saying we should get, like, in terms of the talent wise, we should get a Deshaun Watson in here. I was always expecting a suspension.
Right.
Like that. This is not surprising to me. Like, so I was thinking 26-year-old, 27-year-old quarterback after the suspension.
Right.
But look at what the remainder 5 years of his contract, 4 years, something like that. Prime quarterback. Mm-hmm. But I also get, off the field.
So here's what happens. You get a Deshaun Watson. He's out for 8 games. We're probably going to lose most of those games. We're probably going to win 2 games out of those 8. Let's just be real here. Then there's 8 games left. He has to come in and try to run the tables and do all this.
Oh, the season is a wash. But, so it's not just about the season.
Yeah. So I'm just saying. So we end up with six wins. It's going to be Taylor Heineke show once again. You sign Deshaun Watson to that big contract. Goodbye, Terry. Terry plays out this year, next year under the franchise tag, right? Then, who do we just pay? Oh, Durant Payne, he's gone. Oh, Montez Sweat, he's gone as well. Because you're not going to be able to repay one of those guys. Oh, Chase Young, that's the guy you keep. So that's the aftermath of when your quarterback is getting this kind of money.
But I would be cool with
So
that.
yeah,
If it wasn't for the like,
we're
I
all
honestly, bro, Deshaun, I don't know, man.
yeah,
I don't know.
no. Look, we're all fine with that, but we have to look at the backside of it. Okay, Deshaun Watson's great, phenomenal talent, right? He comes in. So what you're going to gain in the offense, you're going to lose defensively. You know how Amari Cooper went bye bye? Yeah, Terry's gone, and then now you're drafting that next weapon, which you can find Terry's easier than you can find a Deshaun Watson. I get all that, but just know any team that has ever paid the quarterback, look at the rest of the roster. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Packers.
Yeah, Packers.
I mean,
if
that's a great roster though.
Yeah, so
that's still a great, even without
great.
Adams.
Yeah, so Rodgers is that dude, right? But now they've improved the defense so much. How did they improve it? Letting go of Adams and drafting 2 guys in the first round.
Yeah, that's still a great roster.
Defense
though.
Stacked. Yeah, great roster. Defense is stacked. But let's see what that offense looks like. The Bucks, okay.
Rams.
Discount. Bucks discount with Tom Brady. Tom Brady's not getting top dollar. Let's not get it twisted. He's not getting
Rams.
Rams, okay. Overpay. They overpay everybody. Who else? It actually worked for the Rams. Oh, Cowboys. Yeah, let's talk about the Cowboys. What did they do? Didn't even win a game in the playoffs. Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes. That team is great, but now they couldn't keep Tyreek Hill. And guess what?
But you see, the team's still going to be great, though, because of the quarterback.
I don't know about that. They're going to be good. They're going to be good. Everybody else around them got better. You can make an argument.
I think that's more because of the division, though. I think that's more because of the division than because of the Chiefs.
Right.
If we were the Chiefs in our division, I think the Chiefs would be great.
Right. But no, if the Chiefs were in our division, Chiefs will be great, but it still does not guarantee the championship. But playoff contender is what you aspire to be, and then from there, anything can happen, right? So you see when Rodgers have gotten the money, they've done nothing. Russell Wilson got the money, they did nothing. Matter of fact, he's out of he's gone. So all I'm saying is, yes, it's great to have a franchise quarterback. When you have a franchise quarterback, you put it on their backs. If they're a true franchise quarterback, they should be able to cover a lot of the messes, right? That's why you see these quarterbacks get hurt. They're trying to do too much. They're carrying a lot of heavy weight on their backs. Sometimes
Russell Wilson did.
But it's a good thing it's a good thing to have. It's a good thing to have because when you have a really good franchise quarterback, they can cover a lot of the messes. Except Dak Prescott. Except Dak Prescott.
Yeah. And on this point, I think it was just because this year's class, Dave, was just so bad. It was just so bad. And I think next year's class is different, right? It's going to be really good, apparently.
5 guys in the first round. 5 of them.
Yeah. But really quickly, though, Manny, before we wrap up, I want to get to one last topic, and that is the little bit of news that came from the Commanders this week with regards to our players. And that is Terry's Madden rating of 91 that was just revealed yesterday. That only ranks him behind Devontae Adams, who's a 99, Cooper Kupp, in this order: Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, and Mike Evans. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players. Only 7 players ahead of Terry, and then he's tied with Keenan Allen, and he's just above Amari Cooper. So that's 9. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because Terry is 9, and then Amari's. Yeah.
And this is why everybody's talking about why is Jamar Chase not on there? He's done it one time.
Yeah,
Madden
I agree. Madden doesn't do it.
Terry has done it 3 years in a row. Yeah, the touchdown numbers aren't there, but his touchdown numbers are actually better than Keenan Allen. Everybody who's on that list either is a high touchdown guy, 100 catch guy. They're all 1,000-yard guys. So why is Terry on there? He's done it 3 years in a row with mediocre quarterbacks, 3,000+ yards for 3 years. Then if he continues to go higher. It just is what it is. They go off of total body work. And that's the only reason why you see certain guys where they are. If Terry's touchdown numbers go up, you're talking about he's going to be a top 5 guy on that list. There's a potential that Tyreek Hill takes a lesser productive season, right? Keenan Allen's getting a little older. You got Mike Williams there. So a lot of things can happen. DeAndre Hopkins misses half the season. So there's a good chance that Terry rises this year. And that's because of that boy Wentz. I don't care what nobody has to say. Wentz. Just get wins now. But no, seriously.
Makes me wince.
I know, right? No, but seriously, Terry deserves to be there. He deserves to be there. He's a really good wide receiver. And the league recognizes that. They see what he has to work with. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he deserves
And
it. He deserves
also, Madden rates players off of like specific traits, right?
it. Okay.
Like Terry, not stats. Well, I mean, stats
Mhm.
play into it, but it's like more so on traits. And when I say that, for those of you who don't play Madden, it's
Mhm.
like Terry. Look at Terry as a receiver, individual receiver.
Right.
Look at all of
Right.
his abilities, right?
Yep.
And then
Yep.
come up with a rating based off of all the stuff that
Got
he brings to the table. He has a contested catch ability. He has the speed.
Yep.
He has the route running. He has the
Yep.
leadership, right? That
Yep.
matters, right? Like he
Mhm.
has all these attributes, and that's what
Got
essentially gives him a 91. Someone
Got
might argue Jamar Chase is also 90, or he should be in the 90s. But again, what you just said, Madden, and I actually like this. Madden doesn't rate players super highly off of one season,
one season.
right? Like it usually takes a couple years, right?
Thank you.
There's some outlier cases, but like usually that's what happens.
Right.
And that's why you have an Amari Cooper top 10 who's not a top 10 receiver right now, in my opinion, right?
Right.
But because of the fact that he's had so
The
many
respect.
1,000-yard seasons
The
already
respect.
built up on his resume,
Yep.
and he still has a lot of the attributes that you want, the route running, the
Yep.
speed,
Yep.
contested catchability, right? Like those things add up to
Mhm.
where he is. And in terms of my ranking, Dave said that sounds just about right for Scary Terry. In my opinion, it does too. This is my ranking. You can also come up with yours as well, Manny. But mine is Devontae Adams at 1, Cooper Kupp at 2, Justin Jefferson at 3, Tyreek Hill at 4, Jamar Chase at 5, Stephon at 6, DeAndre at 7, Mike Evans at 8, Keenan Allen at 9, and then Terry is tied with Debo. In terms of receiver,
No,
offensive weapon, I
of
think Debo's
course.
better.
No, yeah. Offensive weapons, Debo. But actual run routes, like what everything that you said, like actual receiver is Terry. So yeah, I agree with your list. Um, Mike Evans is so underrated. A lot of those guys on that
I
list
know.
are so underrated. People don't really realize how
8
good.
straight 1,000-yard seasons, bro, to start a career. I
Eight.
don't think has that ever been done. I don't think that has.
Every year I keep waiting for. I'm not waiting for him to fail, but it's like you think he's not going to get it, and then he does it again. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is with Mike Evans. The
And he's
guy
gonna
is
go off
special.
this year too.
6'5", high touchdown
No God.
guy, future Hall of Famer. I mean, you got to start putting him up there with some of the greats of all time. He is that good. He's that good, man. And Tom Brady brings out the best out of everybody. Like, there's never been a receiver that had talent that Tom Brady didn't help elevate. You know, so
But even when Jameis, bro, Mike Evans
he
is putting
put
up
up
numbers.
monster
Like,
numbers. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying,
yeah.
man. Mike Evans, man, he's different. He's different. So yeah, I agree with your list. Jamar Chase definitely needs to be up there. He's a phenomenal talent, unicorn. You know, I just wish that Terry just had a quarterback. Let's just see.
Nah, but Jamar Chase is
Terry
different, bro.
No, he's different. No.
Even with the court, yeah.
It's kind of like when I think of Terry, right? When you look at a guy like Marvin Harrison or even a Reggie Wayne, crispy route runner, technician, gets open, they get their stuff right. But then you had guys like Andre Johnson and Megatrons that were just more dynamic. Terry might not be as dynamic as some of these other receivers, but
Yeah.
he's pretty good. It doesn't mean that Marvin
That's
Harrison,
a great way of putting it.
Yeah, because he's just a technician. He gets open. You can't deny a guy that gets open. Yeah, you have the guys that make the OBJ catches and the guy that hurdles over this guy or turns a slant.
Spin move, everything.
Yeah, spin move, juking. Yeah, Terry's just Terry. You know, he's really good. But he's just not as flashy as some of these other guys. And it could be because he just hasn't had the quarterback play that some of these other guys have had. You know, so I think on that list, he probably has the worst quarterback, wins or not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what it is. Or borderline Kirk Cousins, you know, with Jefferson or whatever the case may be. But everybody on that list has a pretty good quarterback, right?
Yeah. So. And speaking of not great quarterbacks, I mean, you've heard about the whole Darnell Mooney. This is the true last topic. Darnell Mooney versus Terry. I mean, same stats.
Yeah.
But terrible quarterbacks. I mean, not in terms of like future, right? Because I think Justin Fields might be good.
Right.
But like last year was not good, right?
Right. No, I see that a lot. And that's actually why I'm buying Darnell Mooney in a lot of dynasty leagues, because he has that potential. Like, people saw the potential in Terry that we as Washington fans don't see. There were fans all around the world saying, Terry this, Terry this, Terry that. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Terry does do this. Terry does do that. Because they were looking as a fantasy fan instead of like a fan. So sometimes you don't know what you have. So Darnell Mooney could be that next best thing to pop. I don't even know how good the guy can be. But the guy gets open. The guy makes plays. The guy's pretty good. And it was the same way I thought about Kenny Galladay before he blew up. I was like, is Kenny Galladay really good? Okay, whatever. And then he blew up that one year when he led the league in touchdowns, right? Then it was like, going to the wrong situation. So quarterback play does help sometimes. But sometimes there are these quarterbacks that are quarterback proof. Allen Robinson is the perfect example of what a quarterback-proof wide receiver is. He's done it with all these guys, even on the same level or worse than Terry. He's put up monster numbers, 1,400 yards receiving it, 10 touchdowns and this and that. So,
man, now he's getting freaking Matt Stafford, Sean McVay, and that Rams offensive scheme that just gets their receivers open.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. Woo! I'm telling you, Allen Robinson, comeback player of the year. I don't know, man. Yeah. I think he's going off. He's going to go off.
He's better than Robert Woods. He's better now than OBJ. You can say. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be, everybody's like, oh, Allen Robinson's taking a step back. Oh, he's not good anymore. Okay. He took a step back because he didn't want to go all out for a team that did him wrong. Franchise tagged them, handicapped them.
He's only 28, I think.
He's only 28. He's younger. Crazy. I think he's like 1 year younger than Cooper Kupp, something like that. I think Cooper Kupp is like 29 or something. And then either way, just look at it. Their ages are very close. Very close.
Yeah, man. Man, I love, bro, that's such, man, you got to love that just as an NFL fan, right? Like, even though same conference, like, you just got to love, like, man, they just won the Super Bowl and they replace an injured OBJ who's going to be out until maybe November with a freaking Allen. Like, I just love it. And then added Bobby Wagner on defense. Like, you got to love that, though. Like, as an NFL fan, like.
Man, it's like, wow. I mean, free agency. Wasn't that like the best free agency of all time?
Oh, yeah. Like if you're including trades and stuff. Yeah.
Man, it was the NBA. Like, oh, Devontae Adams gets traded. Oh, Tyreek Hill is getting traded. Bobby Wagner. Who's the guy that went to Buffalo?
Right.
I mean, defenders.
Yeah.
Was it the guy from the Rams? I can't even think of his name right now.
Wait, Khalil Mack got traded.
Khalil Mack got traded.
Or I think it was traded, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was bad. I mean, Russell Wilson gets traded. I mean, it was like
Deshaun Watson.
Something was happening. Deshaun Watson deal. Then Carson Wentz deal. But but it was
Baker Mayfield. I mean, everything.
Yeah, it was like moves being done. Situations where you say this quarterback is never leaving. Boom. Oh, Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams are never getting traded. Oh, they're playing with their best friends. Money talks.
Yeah,
AJ Brown gone. Hollywood Brown gone. It was Von Miller. That was the guy. Von Miller
signing though, but
yeah, signing. Von Miller, Chandler Jones, like teams getting stacked, divisions getting stacked. Amari Cooper leaving. Like, what is going on? It was the best free agency period of all time, and I enjoyed every bit of it,
bro. And I mean, Von Miller, the one thing, bro, like I want to say though about the Bills, I have the Bills as the Super Bowl favorites right now. The one thing, bro, that too many people are forgetting about the Bills, right? And just how good they can be.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people are forgetting Tre'Davious White went out on Thanksgiving with an injury and he didn't play for the remainder of the year. Tre'Davious White, like, if you guys forgot, he's like one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Like, he's going to fix.
Yep.
And then you add bro, that Bills team is
so Tre'Davious White, right? But then you got
Gabe Davis.
You got the safeties in Poyer and what's names are just escaping me.
Micah Hyde.
Micah Hyde, Poyer. I mean, Tre'Davious White. I mean, pass rush. Look, they got their pass rush is so good. Their bench players can be starters. Tim Settle and the rest of them. I mean, they are stacked to where they're going to be rushing 10 guys. Like, they're going to rotation. I mean, it's going to be a special. And then the offense got better. Jamison Crowder, Duke Johnson, James Cook.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have that intermediate slot type, dump off type thing for Josh Allen. He's going to throw
Gabe
more.
Davis, bro,
Gabe
don't forget,
Davis,
man.
Gabe Davis.
4 touchdowns, I think, in that playoff game. Like, he
Yep.
might be next up.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun season. You
Yes,
can't
sir.
really predict who as of right now. Things do change. Players do emerge. Schedules do get tougher. Bad teams do end up being good teams. So you look at the schedule and you say, things change. But if I had to put my money on somebody, it's definitely the Buffalo Bills. They got everything you need from top to bottom, from organization to GMs to coaching to quarterback to everything. They're stacked.
Don't sleep on the Rams either. And also with the Commanders, like, I will just say this, like you mentioned this earlier, like, in terms of the high potency that Carson Wentz can bring to the offense, I do agree with that. And man, this just shows you how much we love this team. Like I was watching literally full game highlights of like Kirk Cousins games, like from 2015, 2016, when our offense was like Deshaun Jackson, Pierre Garçon, one of the most underrated players in this franchise history.
Wasn't that just
James
so fun?
Crowder. Yeah.
Jordan Reed. I was looking at Jordan Reed highlights today, man, because somebody pulled up Jordan Reed. I was looking at Jordan Reed. I'm like, this guy was special. This guy could have been so special had he been healthy. So it's like, you look at all that, and then the NFC East did get worse. They did get worse. Yeah, you got Jalen Hurts.
Except for the Eagles.
Yeah, but it's all about
the Eagles got better.
They go as far as Jalen Hurts go. I don't know. So it's debatable with that Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts thing. Who's going to be – whoever that's the better quarterback between those two guys ends up being second place with potential to be first, because even though the Dallas Cowboys, they lost a lot. You lose Amari Cooper, who's a dog. Amari Cooper's a dog. He is a respected wide receiver in this league.
And he torched us.
Then you have Gallup coming back from injury. You know, Dalton Schultz with the contract issue. CeeDee Lamb, can he be a true number one? So there's a lot of question marks. Ezekiel Elliott, one more year and he's done. Pollard. So, and then their defense, they're good, but they didn't really too much improve. So it's like, it's there for the taking. It's there for the taking. If Washington's defense is going to show up and Carson Wentz can just be decent, who knows? Who knows? Maybe 9 wins that division. I don't know. Maybe 10 wins that division. So I'm excited just for the fact that everybody else got worse except the Eagles. And, Daniel Jones. Who's scared of Daniel Jones? Can the Eagles even run the ball? Can they stop anybody on defense?
The Eagles?
Can they stop anybody?
Yes.
Pass rush. Okay, you got the corners, but they didn't scare me last year. They didn't. Bradbury. No, that's just Bradbury. Bradbury. I forgot about Bradbury. You're right.
And then Jordan Davis, N'Kobe Dean.
Theo Reddick. Yeah. I get all that. It still has to Hassan. Hassan Reddick.
I think.
Yeah, everything has to work out. Like we've had paper teams. We've had stacked teams on paper as well. So we got to see how everything plays out. And then we all play the same opponents, right? Maybe we squeak out a win versus one or two opponents that they don't squeak out a win against. And then it just flips everything. 1 or 2 games can just flip everything. So
Yes, sir.
Optimistic.
Yes, sir. My prediction, Eagles win the division. But Commanders also, they're number 2, and they make the playoffs as well. That's my prediction. Cowboys 3rd place, Giants 4th place. Only 2 teams in this division make the playoffs, Eagles and us. That's how I see things going. There's a lot that we have to, read up on, to look at this off season, and then once the season starts, a lot to watch, right? So
there's a lot of question marks with us. Like our second-year players got to take a big leap, What are we doing at linebacker? Like, is our defense going to be any good? They look good on paper, but they're going to be any good.
Yeah.
Is the quarterback going to play well? Is the run game going to improve? Does Brian Robinson Jr. improve? I think if Brian Robinson Jr. does what I think he's going to do, the defense is really going to be good because guess what? Run the ball, kill clock, keep defense fresh. That's what I have envisioned. Not just more so Carson Wentz, more so the totality of the team around Carson Wentz that gets me excited. Not just Carson Wentz going to come in and 5. No, it's just the potential of what the team can be with. Tight ends. We got the tight ends. They're young. We got the wide receivers. I'm excited about them. Minus Curtis Samuel. So just all kinds of different things that could happen.
For sure, bro. Manny, thank you so much, bro, for coming on to this live stream. This was really fun. We talked about the Wizards, Nats, Commanders, everything, bro. I appreciate you taking, pretty much an hour and a half out of your night to be with me, to be on this stream. And shout out to everybody in the comment section, Jared's Corner. I'm not hiding, bro. We have that we I'm, I'm, bro, it always starts off like this, these streams.
Right.
I'm not hiding, bro. You know what it is, what it be. On the warpath, fight for ODC, Pedro Smith. Appreciate you all for joining, man. Dave and DC, I don't deserve this. I think there was another comment right here. Protect Sports, Brown Boy Sports Talk. Stop it, bro. Cavs are better than Wizards. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. My guy, Manny, is there anything you want to plug before we sign off?
Yes, sir, man. Just check out the YouTube channel, Talking Sports with Manny. It's a buffet table. Come out for fantasy football, NBA, Lakers, Wizards, you name it, it's there. Take what you want to eat, throw away the rest. Appreciate you so much for having me on the show, Natty.
Yeah, for sure, bro. And this brother is so humble, but he is the fantasy guru. If you need advice, go to him. He got you. And yeah, and bro, he's a great person. And bro, I'm so glad that you came on once again. It's been a minute. So I'm glad we did this, and I hope you have a great rest of the night. I hope everybody else watching this has a great rest of your night. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the DMV Sports Zone channel, where I like to post fire content like this as much as possible. Hopefully some more fire content on the way this week. Also, make sure to follow our Twitter page at DMV Sports Zone, Instagram, all lowercase DMV Sports Zone, and our TikTok run by Abdullah, co-host, at DMV Sports Zone as well. With that being said, thank you guys again so much for watching, and see you on the next one. Peace.